for you. Before I give you the glow down, let's back it up and let's get to know each other. Currently, I'm working bedside, but after years of wondering what it would be like in a world of aesthetics, I began the transition from bedside into this new phase. So during these episodes, I'll be sharing all of my tricks, tips, and treatments as I learn them from past and present experiences. I am no expert yet, but I would plan to be sharing some of this information with you as I find it to be useful. And as I learn, we'll be doing this together. In today's episode, we'll be talking about what it's like to move from bedside nursing into the world of aesthetics. Whether you're considering a career in aesthetics, have already made the jump, or are just curious about what the transition entails, we've got you covered. We'll be discussing the differences in work environments, the skills that are required, and how to make the most of this exciting career path. Why nurses are transitioning into aesthetics. So, aesthetics nursing offers a different pace and focus compared to bedside nursing. If you're looking for a change or a more creative and flexible drive, this would be a great option. It's an exciting new field that merges medicine with artistry. Let's just back it up for a few. So I want to talk about my personal journey into aesthetics. So I began doing some research on my own. I was looking into a specific institution, I should say, for a while now, but I wasn't yet a nurse. So I did have to finish my nursing degree. I do have a bachelor's in nursing, so I added that on after I finished my associates in health science. I transitioned into the 4-year program, and once I completed that, I've been working bedside. I've been doing long-term care, short-term care, rehab, hospice, a combination of all of the above, and there is so much burnout in that field, and that was what technically led me to aesthetics. So I think that there is a greater focus on one-on-one care. You are not able to do the same things in bedside as you are in aesthetics. So you are one-on-one with these clients. They are clients. They are not patients. It is such a different world going into aesthetics than I have experienced in bedside. I have always been drawn to helping people. I love it. Just the idea of making somebody feel better about themselves inside and out. I found my passion. So aesthetics is going to be a game changer. And again, I am early in this journey. I am only into, the membership portion, figuring out who I want to be my medical director, just learning about the institution that I'm going in. I do have my first class in a couple weeks. So I am looking forward to starting this. There are major differences between bedside and aesthetics nursing. In bedside nursing, you're usually in a hospital or a clinic setting where patients are in need of immediate life-saving care. So you are balls to the wall, crazy, just running everywhere, trying to make it work for your patients and get them everything they need in only a short amount of time. I mean, I technically am there for 8 hours of my shift, but when you are facing that and 20 patients at once, you are limited on how much time you can spend with these patients. So again, in aesthetics nursing, you are one-on-one with these clients, and you get to gauge how much time you want to be spending with them. And they do need you for stuff. They are looking for safe, reputable nurses that are able to perform these services for them. And obviously you have made the list if you are face-to-face with them. So that's a great thing. So let's go back to patient interaction. In bedside nursing, patient care can be intense. You're dealing with critical conditions. You're passing medications all day long. By the time you finish one med pass, you are going on to the next. You are constantly monitoring vitals. But in the world of aesthetics, patient care is more so about consultations, and they are elective procedures. So your clients are choosing to come and work with you. They are all cosmetic goals, and there is no life or death urgency as you would be facing in a world of bedside. So let's talk about some skill sets that you're going to need. So when you are at the bedside, you need a lot of critical knowledge. So you'll need clinical skills, you'll be doing hands-on care, and in aesthetics, you will need a lot of clinical skills. but they are more so focused on anatomy, injecting, and understanding skin, facial features, and the ability to correct natural-looking results. All right, let's go back to training. So when you are looking for courses to be taking in aesthetics, you want to make sure these courses are accredited. Not only do they provide you with the skills that you're going to need to be successful in your businesses and your practice, but these people are going to be giving you your clients, because you are most likely, like myself, coming off of the street with no clientele and you are working on gaining one. So you need to make sure that at least your education is from somewhere that people know and they're reputable, trustworthy, because your clients are more likely going to know more right now about fillers and what they've been doing, their price points, everything based on their experiences with other providers. So you want to make sure that you're able to be educated, that you are in a connection with these resources, you have price points that are comparable. All of those types of details do matter in gaining a clientele, and those are some things that I'm experiencing right now. So again, I am starting with no clientele. I have to figure out how to build one. I am coming from bedside. No one in long-term care necessarily wants to come and transition. You just can't cross the two very easily. I can't go to my hospice patients and ask them if they would come and be models for my new intro to neurotoxins classes. So, you have to find other ways to bring people in and tell them that you are trustworthy and gain a rapport with them, because they are going to be like, well, didn't you do this for so long? All of a sudden you're doing this. You want to be able to prove that you're educated enough to make these types of transitions. So just make sure it's backed up, your sources, your education, everything's credible, reliable, and from a professional. So another key thing to be focusing on during your transition is making sure that you are paying attention to detail. I know that all nurses, we are so meticulous in everything that we do, or we try to be, but you need to be making sure you're doing this with your Botox, your filler patients, and everything underneath the sun, because these patients, they are literally representing it within their face, their body. Everything you do will show physically, and you just need to make sure that you know what you're doing. Nursing in general is not a joke. It's life or death. Don't get it twisted. Just because it's glitz, glam, and cute doesn't mean that you're not putting, toxins in their face to make it do something. Everything comes with a chemical reaction, and every single person's different, so just make sure you're paying attention to detail. In aesthetics, patient communication is crucial. You need to have excellent communication skills in order to consult with the patients, know their needs, their wants, and manage their expectations. You need to have your patients knowing that you have their back, that you understand what their goals are, but you need to be able to educate them into making safe and knowledgeable choices for their own health. Because again, you are a nurse, you are an NP, you are a medical professional that they are looking for to make these decisions with them. Some steps into making the transition from bedside into nursing. So step 1 would be gaining experience. As we talked about earlier, you need to be reaching out to everyone and everyone. If you do not already have your foot in the door, you are walking into a world that is completely different than you are used to. So I would suggest by starting with sending some emails to local med spas, some shops, education places, institutions, places that offer training, education. But again, your best bet is applying to these positions and just getting your foot in the door, seeing what you would need, what they accept as a bare minimum, what they want you to be successful in. You need to be realistic with yourself, though, because you do not have a lot of experience, you don't have the training, and you can't necessarily just walk into a job and start doing, hydra facials and all of this if you don't have the training to do so. So again, you are putting your foot in the door, just getting your name known, being like, hey, can you keep my name on file? I am going to be completing these courses. I see that you're hiring now. Thank you so much for your opportunity reading my email. Do you mind if you just keep it on file? Most likely, they'll be telling you anyways, your resume is really impressive already. We're going to be keeping you for future reference. That's happened to me a few times, but I just didn't have the aesthetics experience portion of it to back up. So that is going to be a really extensive and important thing for you, as well as obtaining necessary certifications and training. So many states require aesthetic nurses to complete additional training in injectables, lasers, and a bunch of other cosmetic procedures. You can be a registered nurse doing these, or you could be working under a medical directorship, which I am currently looking to do. I don't have my NP. I don't plan on going back for my NP. I would rather pay for my medical directorship monthly. We can talk about some things about that later, but there are a lot of benefits of having a medical directorship. You don't have to write your own scripts. You can do a bunch of things. You log everything in just as if you were a bedside nurse. You're doing, the lot numbers, expiration dates, putting in your product information. You're making notes about your patients after each session with them, and it is very similar, but all of that stuff under medical directorship is a lot easier than feeling like you're making a lot of these decisions on your own. Under a medical directorship, you will have someone with you at all times. I know that specifically in Massachusetts here, you need to be at least 4 hours away from your provider. As long as they can get to you within that certain amount of time, you are all set to be doing these procedures at home or, in a safe space, clean area that can support you in that. So just look out for some of those opportunities as well. I'll keep you posted as I settle into mine. I know I mentioned it earlier, but networking and building connections is going to be so important in your transition. Networking in the aesthetics field is important for learning new techniques, keeping up with all of your trends, and finding new job opportunities. So you want to be considering joining these online communities, attending aesthetic nurse conferences. A lot of these institutions that you'll be signing up for to do your aesthetics courses in general offer memberships that will show monthly in newsletters, and they will be for products that you will be doing. So for Botox, Juvederm, those are just a few examples of some that are specific at my institution. They'll do client appreciation dinners, a bunch of networking opportunities that will just broaden your clientele. You'll be able to be in touch with other new aesthetic nurses, experienced aesthetic nurses, advanced level practitioners. You'll just have a lot of people to be able to support you through your journey, no matter what level you're at. So I think that that'll be great. It has been really great for me, and I plan on just continuing to dive further. I haven't made it out to any networking. I still feel a little bit shy. I haven't really had too many courses with them yet. So I feel like it would be kind of odd for me just to sit in and listen to, the reps when you don't really know much about the topic yet. So those are to come. I do plan on attending those eventually, but right now I have a few more things to be focusing on. Another thing that you want to be focusing on would be deciding where you're going to be working. You can work in a lot of settings. You can work in med spas, dermatology offices, plastic surgery practices, and you can even own your own business. There's a lot to owning your own business, but sometimes it's worth it. And again, you can own your own business while being under a medical directorship, which I think is great. So you want to consider what environment you will have and which environment you personally thrive best in. You want to create that environment for you. So let's just recap really quick. So we talked about the transition from bedside into the world of aesthetic nursing. I think that it's going to be a really exciting career path, and I look forward to sharing my journey with you as I go through all of the courses, the whole process, and continue building and working with clients and other providers I look up to for a very long time. So I hope that this episode gave you a good idea of what to expect and how to get started. In our next episode, we will be talking about what I have been through during my first year of nursing, what you can expect, and things that you should be doing during your first year to make a difference for the rest of your nursing career. I think that I have been off to a really good start, but that doesn't go without notice to a lot of people that have supported me, and I have been involved in a lot of strong nursing, and I am very fortunate to be under a lot of nurses that are able to teach me and help teach you. Whether you're looking to make the transition or you are already on your way, just remember that becoming an aesthetics nurse is a journey. Take your time and keep learning, and always, always stay passionate about helping people feeling their best, okay? It's not a rush. Your patients, your clients, and you all come first. So thank you for listening, and I can't wait to see you in the next episode.